A few months ago, I made a decision that completely shaped my Pokemon card business. I decided that instead of chasing those huge cards, that I was going to be building one of the biggest inventories of $2 Pokemon singles that I possibly could. The idea was simple: thousands of inexpensive cards that could eventually turn into daily sales. Well, I finally exported all of my eBay data and fed it into the AI business partner that I've been building, and the results were not at all what I expected. When I exported my data, I found that nearly 80% of my Pokemon inventory was made of $2 cards. Not surprising. Well, those cards resulted in roughly $30 of total revenue. Yeah, meanwhile, a tiny fraction of my inventory, the high value cards, were doing all of the heavy lifting. If you're new here, my name is Jacoby, and I'm building a Pokemon card business publicly here on YouTube. Sometimes it means buying collections, sometimes grading, sometimes making business systems, but today, we're auditing my own business. Because if I'm going to spend thousands of hours building this store, I'd rather know I'm building the right thing. Okay, so when I started, I did not want to be the guy selling the $5,000 Charizards. I mean, sure, but I didn't have one. And more importantly, I was not going to be able to convince my wife to buy one with me either. I wanted consistency. If I could build out my inventory, enough there would always be something for someone to buy. Eventually, someone somewhere would buy something from me every day, right? That's the plan. And honestly, it worked. Sort of. So my trainer brain exported every active listing, reviewed all of my recent orders, the logged impressions, advertising within eBay, on their actual site traffic, and had my GPT agent analyze everything. Now, this is not going to replace my decision making, but it's to help me see the forest for the trees. So, is my business actually working the way I thought it was? Let's find out. All right, I currently have over 4,000 active listings, and almost 80% of those are priced around $2. Again, not surprising, we've discussed this, so let's dig deeper. You'd expect those cards to make up the majority of my sales. But as you know, they do not. My larger cards are carrying the business. The $2 cards absolutely sell, just nowhere near as often as I've built my business around. In my trainer brain, every wrong answer creates another question. So why not? Are Pokemon card sales slowing down? Is eBay changing? Are buyers behaving differently? Are my listings just bad? Is my pricing strategy wrong? Or am I asking buyers to shop the wrong way? That last one is the one we are going to be testing. So instead of trying to sell just one $2 card, or maybe even 2 or 3 $2 cards, I'm going to try and change buyer behavior. Should be easy, right? Basically, since June, I've been running a buy 3, get 3 shipping promo that I've discovered very few customers are actually taking advantage of. So I changed. New promo is buy 2, get 10% off, buy 3, get 15% off, and buy 4, get 20% off. I am keeping that below my higher end inventory. So if it's a $10 card or less, it qualifies for all this. And there's also free shipping. But the catch is it has to hit a minimum of $10 to qualify for it, and I've excluded every card that is above $9.99. So stacking gets them a better discount and forces them to purchase at least 2 cards, and if they're looking at everything, then hopefully that means they'll buy 3 or 4. My goal is not to sell cheaper. My goal is to sell more cards per order. I'm still betting that volume is king. Now, here is the part that I almost missed. Those $2 cards only generate about $30 in revenue during the period that I analyzed. But that's on paper. And honestly, that sounds terrible. So why wouldn't I just stop listing them? Because I don't think revenue alone tells the whole story. So during the exact same time period, my store generated nearly 1.9 million impressions. For the record, I am still shocked at that number, but here we are. So thousands of people are seeing my listings. Over 5,000 listing views, and that's a lot of opportunities for someone to discover my store. Now, can I prove that happened because I have thousands of inexpensive cards? No, not directly, but I can make an educated guess, right? The data just flat out doesn't actually tell me that. But I think it's a reasonable theory that every $2 card is another searchable item, another set number, another Pokemon that's somebody's favorite, right? Another chance for somebody to type something into eBay and to end up on my store instead of someone else's. So maybe the job of the $2 card isn't just to make $2 or less than that after shipping, right? Maybe its job is to introduce the customer to the other 4,000 listings that I have. And if that is true, then I don't want fewer $2 cards. I just want them working a little bit harder. I want them turning 1 card purchases into 4 card purchases. That's why I'm changing the promotion instead of just changing my inventory or my inventory strategy. Maybe I've been judging my wrong cards by the wrong description. I've been asking them to generate revenue, but maybe their real job is generating that traffic. And if they can bring buyers into my store, then it's my responsibility to give those buyers a reason to stay. One thing that I've learned from corporate training is that someone doesn't usually fail because they aren't trying. They fail because they're measuring the wrong thing. They don't know what success looks like. So I think that's exactly what I've been doing, that I've been measuring my overall listings as growth when I should have been measuring the inventory that actually moves. I generally don't know if this is going to increase sales or just completely backfire, but that's kind of the point of this channel. I'm not going to pretend that I know all the answers or that I know how to do all this. I'm trying to build a business and that document what works and what doesn't. We'll figure it out together. So, bulk cards are not going anywhere. Some say they are the do you want fries with that piece of any successful TCG business. I plan to keep buying and to keep listing. And in an ideal world, I will hit my eBay store cap of 10,000 listings within the next 60 days. But that will be another problem to solve when I continue to scale the business to that size. It's still just me working on this, and I want to make sure I get the basics mastered before I get overwhelmed. Or at least, steps 1 and 2. I will continue to self-evaluate and to reach out to those in the business space to see where they're at and how they overcame these issues. At this point, I'm not a complete beginner, but I need to learn from those a little further down the path. Look, I love building Legos, and following the right steps in the beginning lead to the right finished product. Being on the right foundation is essential, just like growing a business. Over the next month, we're going to track every number. We're going to see if the average order value actually increased. Did $2 card sales actually go up at all? Did profits go up? Or did I just give away margin? We're going to find out. So, call to action. If you guys had over 4,000 listings in your store, what would you do? If you were me, where would you want to go next? All right. Last thing, write it down in the comments below. If you had a choice between 1 really expensive card sold or 5 inexpensive cards sold and it all reached about the same dollar amount, how would you want to run? Guys, if you made it this far, thank you so much for sticking around. Please consider subscribing. Again, my name is Jacoby. I am starting eBay and YouTube at the same time while working a full-time job and having a full-time life with wife and kids. But thank you so much for sticking around. Remember, it is journey before destination.